Hello then folks, welcome and welcome back. This is Xenomes. So we are continuing this dark corridor modular stuff. Right now I don't have the file open, but we're gonna reach it. I just need to reorganize. So this is tricky. I had to look for the asset library that I was doing. I thought I even lost this file actually. Do have some props, right, from the scene, but it's not the scene as I've organized of furniture, right? So this was in real folder. So this is my asset library folder for this project, new scene 5. Then here we got the scene 00 scene. Yeah, this would be where I had the modular corridor dark, right? So, but the props was here. That file that is open here was this one, so it was not in scene. So this catalog, this can help, but can also get confused because when we access the library, it's all mixed up together with some. Yeah, it's tricky to get this thing properly set. So, and then I was having repetition of asset library. For instance, let's see, no, not here. Okay, here seems fine, but because I'm not bringing anything from other scenes to this one would be default instead. This scene, maybe something that I'm doing here for the big starship. This was once taking the assets from these other blend files and the asset library, and so there is a lot of repetition here. Let's see where it is, the shift F1. So here and I go props. Okay, this seems fine, but as I go on materials, yeah, so lots of repetition. World also. So let's see if this updates if we do something here. So first, where's the timeline? Okay, F12. Let's go back here. This file I'm gonna, yeah, it could crash, but do I have a close thing? No. So I'm gonna open here also let's get some soundtrack, but hold a moment folks. So here got here, and so here all these iterations here that I don't need. I not delete them because maybe it could be a mistake. So this also is not from here, so I'm gonna select all this and delete these extras. I'll just delete for now, and let's bring this to this one, which is just a backup space. So here the names are, I won't get confused. So let's go back here. Now I don't believe it would auto update. Maybe there is some stuff here which got broken links, so maybe that worked, yeah, already. But let's reopen. Let's check here. No, no, still repeated. Less than before, so maybe that helped. Yeah, so it's still repeated for other reasons, because this takes, so if the scene is taking many assets that contain perhaps the same material, maybe it will reproduce, I don't know. So that could be, I really don't understand how Blender would handle it. At least we got some organizations here. And so what I'm gonna do is that whenever I'll make a backup of this file that I'm working on, I will have to save it somewhere else. I've just remove it. So okay, and generic assets that could be in the props, right? But this is for more scene manager. Or okay, so I'm gonna get here into this dark corridor. So here is gonna improve this modular building, and here is maybe you remember yesterday I was doing this. So we have some drivers which are activating the shaders to have some special effects on certain things there. Okay, so this is the stars. In cycles it's more beautiful. In EV this is limited, but this can still be used in some for some scene. I think it's kind of cool. Okay, so hold on folks, let's get the soundtrack now. Let's limit this thing here, the screen. Let's see, where is the here. All right. So you have got those names are too large, so I'm gonna we don't need this group here. We also not gonna give these names. Actually, you can do a batch rename. Ctrl F2 objects this time. Usually I do it bones. So 0G for nothing. There we go. And so this is this frame. I don't like how they are getting here, so it's not fitting. But this would be just for happening in the entrance, so it might not require the boolean is also just for so you can check without the ceiling certain features. Can be nice. Technically we could, if I've done this one, we could make a pick this the same, not the frame but the one of these, and if where's the world origin? Here. Okay, there it is. Need to activate the overlays. I have a shortcut for this. Shift Alt Z, not super easy. Control Alt Z for the show gizmo. Sometimes I get confused because with the Shift Z, Control Z, Control Shift, Control Z, and Z and all that. So it can be confusing, but with practice we can get used to it. Or you can get a better shortcut. For me this was sort of natural. So what to do here if I need to rotate? Okay, we're gonna first, this is just for visualization because it will be just a rotated one, right? So rotate on the z-axis 90 degrees. It doesn't seem to have, oh yeah, of course, because this is rotating. It's normal that it's not centered the way I would like to, so I can first hide this. Let's get the duplicate here, and let's do the rotation. And now I'll have to find a way to get the proper... Okay, we can hide this one. So this is the absolute grid snap, absolute increment snap. Very simple. Apparently I need to place so I don't like the fact that it doesn't seem trivial to get I don't really know now what I should do, but if I get the array, it just continues there. I need a better thing here. Yeah, something tells me that this will be the correct symmetry. And so for this one we could temporarily just give a mirror, or I could do an entire set, right, already fixed, already joined like this, right? That could be nice. Yeah, maybe that would solve my... So it first fix this we get a mirror here. We don't want this array. For this case we're gonna mirror along the y-axis. Wait, this is not working. Okay, oh, of course, mirror, of course, what I'm... Mirror in relation to this, okay. Then... Same thing here, let's do a... mirror here, but in relation to this, yeah, to itself, no. In relation to this won't work, so I don't have an object of reference. Maybe this one, no. I don't have an object in the... Okay, if I join this and set their origin, maybe it's too soon for joining, but we... Set origin to geometry. No, this is chaotic, so affect only origins. Just snapping it here. Oh, they are linked. Okay, so and it doesn't show here. My mistake. So I haven't changed the objects yet, so they are different, the object modifiers. So I need to not sure that will work. No, that won't work. I need to sort of yeah, it's something like that. Yeah, oh, here. So it's the relations, make single user, objects, data, materials. So everything from the selected objects should become, no, it didn't work. Okay, so never mind, let's do this again. Shift D, and now for some reason, well, I have still this. Oh yeah, I'm still using this one. Okay, now this should be fine. Okay, this seems to be correct. So now we're gonna rotate Z axis numpad wasn't set. Okay, we can apply all transforms. Now apply the rotation. No, let's do that later. Yeah, so this will be the symmetric thing. Then we get this to make another mirror, but then we need to mirror in relation to this object. Okay, then we can control J, the test here. Yeah, this. It's a single object. Okay, then we are gonna duplicate this one, right? And I'm gonna now again get the origins, control comma, no, control dot was my shortcut for that. Yeah, GZ snap to the grid, absolute snap, and increment, not grid. And now if I, yeah, now already changed, right? So let's apply apply scale, apply okay, so if I apply rotation, the problem is that I'll have to fix this, I guess. Yeah, this one is Y because it's the world. Well, it's the orientation of the object. Yeah, they have the same. We're gonna, and then for this one we're gonna mirror the y here. No, actually this is the wrong one. This is the one that I want to have that. So okay, we'll have get it, and this one we'll just delete. So these are already part of the, we don't need to look at them. So I got these two, gonna save, we're gonna join. This creates some wreak havoc. Gonna join. Oh, this one we need also to, yeah, let's join into this one. Now this is correct. So the what gets which data gets, or metadata gets overridden is by the active one, so the one that was highlighted stronger, and a lighter color was the active, and then it will retain the origin as I have less place for this. And so here this is very bizarre, but because of the symmetry, right? The only problem here is that if I wanted to make any addition here, there's probably a better way to do this. Some sort of, I have to edit here and here. But they don't need to be equal, right? We could have some distinction. But this is one object. And now I'm gonna try to, or I could, to simplify here, we could apply the modifiers, right? The mirrors. Or at any time I can just delete, right? So let's just do the following, folks. Let's apply this. Apply this. We don't want array. And boolean, yeah, we can keep the boolean. So here we got control dot. Okay, don't need to be looking at that also. Okay, so now we're gonna try to make the connections here. And yeah, that seems fine. So this now of course if I kept a mirror modifier here, I could make some economy. Let's say easy to apply, right? Just if I yeah, this is difficult to make this kind of selection. X-ray. Looks like I've deleted some important stuff there. Good, and so you have here mirror, and if we do this, it's kinda I don't know, it seems to, maybe it's creating something. Yeah, it's duplicating its own side, right? So it's not good here. I'm gonna maintain the no, I have saved before, so let's get if I have a radial thing, right? That will be something like we'll need an empty object in the center, so it could be a it'll be a circular array, right? So let's try to okay, we're gonna duplicate this. The first one we hide. We keep the second one, so this with the array. We are going to go back to solid view, take off the array. We just want the first one. Then I already know the center there. We need an object, right? So yeah, this is for stairs. I'm not sure if this is the way to go. Yeah, actually okay, if I take off the relative offset, okay, that sort of help. But what if I extend this? What happens? What about these two? Yeah, it starts to overlap, right? So okay, but I got the full mirroring thing, right? We just one, actually this and this, so it's a bit more tricky, right? And also I cannot just join those things. This is something that bothers me. Don't have the topology adjusted, so yeah, this is good for applying, but beyond that it's the same thing as the mirror. So I think not. I won't care about this method. So this already applied, right? So we'll start to work with this, and here we can have our developments. So I don't remember how to get those. Strange. Looks like there's a symmetric a bad calculation in the mirroring. Okay, but this should be easy to solve. Now I got it. So this was not the rotational array, this was the effect with the mirror, something I didn't pay attention. And this, yeah, just connecting here. Saving, and let's see, the ceiling, we should just do that, and then we are lacking some things here, right? Yeah, this was from the original. I need to remember to fix it. It's just for the ceiling. The ground already has these subdivisions. And they could also, this whole thing, yeah, no, the reason I'm doing this is that I really want to have this whole piece, so it's better to also, there's one advantage here, is that we could also try to get some sort of change of scale with, I don't know, proportional editing SZ. Man, you can get some this will be better if we looked at it from another angle and with EV. So this is how it is right now. It is not the best view because we are editing, but we can get an idea. If I just scale, it will scale on up and down, scale and constrain the z-axis. So you could make a something like that, which is not interesting, but not what I want. This is kind of nice. And then of course, yeah, we got some expansion. So what I'm gonna do for now is, since I have this, let's make a backup of this one. Let's try to edit this one. S Shift Z. Should I pick them pipes there? They don't seem to be following. Yeah, so let's ignore the pipes there. And let's validate something like here. Enter. If I had a little more lights here. These lights hold no shadow, so they yeah, it's like a hole. And we could try to okay, now what I want to do is to pick this one, Shift D, hide these ones. Okay, so this is my duplicate that I just want to place it. Yeah, maybe I should remake those models in a way that it's easier to stack them together. Yeah, the way I was doing was not, maybe need to revise that. So here let's rotate this here. Let's, well, don't need that, just let's add the array, but to the negative. As for this one, we will shift D, hide this one, then we got this one. I'm gonna and since we are here, let's also shift D that, rotate 90 degrees. And since we are here, add mirror after the array, actually centralize in this object. There we go. So now we can visualize this a little better. Yeah, of course, these walls here I don't like. I'm gonna change them. But the space is like little haunting, right? It's not very, yeah, it sounds, how do you say this in English, lugubre. Not very good place to stay too long if you think on some horror movies. But this is not a horror thing, but it's like interesting feeling, right? It could be a little better, so we could have something on this kind, but instead this would be the case if these corridors, you see, it's very different. Here's just a crossing, right? Simple crossing, so it feels like it can still be not very relaxing place, but in comparison to this one, I don't know. Yeah, it's get this open, but there's nothing. It's just it's not. There's no need to have all this white space, in my opinion. So, but we could have both types, right? Wait, now I don't know what I need to get here. Okay, we have the corridor tests, so this is, so let's call this X test, and this the y test cross, yeah. Alright, this is actually the yeah, whatever, didn't copy the correct one, so instead let's delete this one. Let's use this one as a mirror along, yeah, I'll use this one, and that's it. So this is actually the X test, and this is the Y test, test. And I guess you could, no, I'm not gonna join them here. So what, okay, this is the boolean and it get this color, don't know why. Then here's the first one, so it doesn't need, here is the cross 02, and this is the cross 01. I guess I have this. Two types to address, and of course if we get the boolean, yeah, this boolean we need to change it, since all the other objects are duplicates, right? They inherit the boolean thing. Yeah, so one thing that could make this approach here a little better is the ceiling is taller, as we can see here with the boolean, because if it's not, it doesn't look very good. And this is the metalness, where there's some very strong light reflecting from this direction. I think because there is a light source here indeed. Yeah, there's a light here that's right in front and it's very strong. Wait, this is the sun. What is it doing here? Okay, no, it's not only there's the area. Okay, it's this one, so yeah, it doesn't need to be. This was for a previous test, right? So it's not gonna enable it here. Saving. Okay, let's make some swapping again. Okay, so I think I'm gonna work from this one, and then it's just a question of yeah, I've got some materials here. That's the ceiling for the others. I was using I see what's happening. Select link by material. This has pipe while it should have the material dark, right? Okay, connecting these pipes would be super annoying here, so instead we could make something much simpler here. Yeah, like I don't need to take this face into account, so you can probably just make sure this extrudes properly. The pipes are tiny, so they don't need to be. We can here maybe just GY G no GX. No, now they are okay. Extrude global. Okay, this seems to be reliable, but then we lose the logic there, right? So I'm gonna just pick some specific vertices, edges here. Yeah, this is the annoying part. Fortunately, it's not too much additions to do here. Then what I do here, I can pick extrude the pipes or just move the pipes actually. Yeah, let's extrude so I have an idea of how much where I cut them. That extrude 0.2 no 0.01. No. Or I could just do one side and resolve the rest. Yeah, could think what could be better, right? Resymmetrize, I just pick. Yeah, this is what's something that I could do. Like I do this and this, then I cut in half everything and this, delete all the rest, and then do the mirror trick. So I won't be doing this like dozens of times. So extrude 0.05. And yes, we don't need this one. This face seems glitchy. Yeah, it's oh yeah, because I've strange. Looks like I didn't complete it. Yeah, so I picked the wrong one to complete this stuff. So let's see, the starts here. Yeah, I picked any one randomly, so this is not gonna be smart. Let's use this one. Let's redo this thing. So extrude 0.0, extrude negative 0.07, extrude 0.07. There we go. Zero 0.8 instead. Good. And then of course I cannot bring this up, right? What I can do is get it this one, maybe like extrude up, then I'm gonna try to align this here and do the same And with this alignment we could try to yeah, or just create this topology madness won't be good. I would fix this having objects, not objects, mesh islands, right? So this is a waste of time in some sense. If it would be easier, but no. And there's a symmetric thing which doing this manually will be like crazy, right? So if I am just to symmetrize this, let's see, no, not symmetrize, I mean if I extrude this but along here, so you can get them aligned even though the mesh is not merged, right? So this kind of stuff can work, right? And because I intend to delete one side, so that should be sufficient. Numpad isolate here. This will not be good, so extrude along Y. Okay, pick this as a reference, select these verses here, SY0 align, no, with 3D curves, SY0, there we go. Delete the face. We can then maybe merge by distance, nothing to merge, alright, but this is not connected. Let's try again, merge by distance 0 point, let's try this one. Okay, that seemed to work, to have worked. Not too much things to. Then the materials for this. What happened to the lights? Something very odd happened to the lights because Okay, suddenly I don't have, oh yeah, of course, numpad backslash, alright. Slash, not backslash. So, this part here could be on a different material, maybe. This whole thing here. So I just have this metal thing, but it's not good, right? Let's see what is this about. Metal dark and metal base, right? So we get this one. We're gonna check what is this shading about. It's an old material made for EV, so this is why just this. This is just an extra color with the diffuse BSDF. Nothing special, so that we could have different metals. So this will be more of a plaster thing. Instead, we could play with this. Let's see what we can achieve here with some basic procedural things. Texture. Yeah, this is a different noise. I think this is for waves, right? Control T, white, Control Shift T actually. No, it's Control T. So it wants a image texture here for some reason. Because it was set to UV, right? But we can this will create a lot of strange stuff. Yeah, no, not the good thing here. Let's try the Voronoi. Yeah, Voronoi. I have something about this that can be nice, right? So it is. I just don't remember how it is. Okay, this one. Okay, so we have this thing. Not with that color, of course. So those patches, right? There's a lot of things that can be explored from this. Okay, and then I need to get this to affect some sort of color, right? Actually, color ramp. And then we need something like, does it? No, nothing here. I don't need to do this mapping here for the Voronoi. But okay, since it exists, let's leave it. It gives an idea of what's going on. And here we could use the I don't know, what does this do? Glassy, not exactly what needed. So can get the principal BSDF and then I don't know what's happening to the what happened. Where am I? I think I've rotated all the. Let's go back to normal view. Okay, so this is suddenly is not doing anything. So this material metal how to say patch 0, 1. That's not working. Select material. Yeah, it is there, but something about the principle that is emission. Yeah, emission gets it, or so maybe I need to mix or use something simpler, or the diffuse also. Maybe the faces are no, there's no inverted faces here. What is this though? Mysteriously they are showing here with but not here. I prefer the face orientations when okay, so maybe it's the UV thing. Now it's generated. Yeah, so I have no idea, folks. This is maybe it's something wrong about the it has a viewport display, yeah, completely different. You can here is just the view for the workbench, so it's not. Now you see the patches here, but in the front we don't see, so it's using .3D. Let's take this off, and yeah, the lights, just don't know, maybe it's a bug. It's like just not reacting. Everything is too dark. We could instead, maybe because I'm reusing this material, maybe it will be a mistake. I'm gonna delete it because it doesn't seem to be working. Instead, let's get Okay, let's get this stuff and see. Let's try this other one. Metal base, what is its viewport? Display, let's get a color that is visible. So what we have here, that kind of, again, principle. Yeah, so definitely we are having something, those procedural as they go into some. Okay, maybe it's just a light thing, that very basic stuff. Let's get a light point, bring it here, and okay, so yeah, it was just a. So here I have a wave texture for this metal, but we're gonna. I have other propositions for that. Darken. So we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna get a Voronoi, color ramp. This we're gonna just make sure it's the updated one. Control T, yes, generated. Or you can use the UVs also, that's. Well, doesn't matter because we can work from this. So now everything is working. It's just I needed a better lighting. Yeah, for this the Manhattan, I like them. And so here we go back to closer to the whites here. There, and so here we got some um, they are a bit too intense, right? You can try to color yeah, basically I want to reduce the, although this looks cool, accident. Yeah, my idea was try to splash this into some more but instead getting this more contrasted can also create some cool patterns. It doesn't, yeah, it doesn't combine actually well with the particular corridor that I'm trying to do, so I'll have to readdress this yeah, so I need to take off the contrast, the brightness, yeah, take off the brightness, reduce the contrast, yeah, they need to be a paler color, but now they are just not bright enough, so I can augment the scale. This will make this also, if the light was stronger here, it'll also have a better effect, so it must be subtle. Okay, let's leave this as this. Now this is too much. Want something more like this. Good. So here we are getting this structure here, and what is this material? Okay, so here we're gonna change this metal, how do you call, what kind of plates? No, not plates, it's patches. Patch 01. And I'm gonna add this mark as assets. This one marks as asset, it wasn't. These ones are already, okay. Could we get this one here as well? Ah, that is kind of cool. Although it's not exactly yeah, I need some pilaster like that, would be nice, but not it's too advanced, right? We need to change this like GG, or just make some inset, something like that. And of course this won't work, so we need to this, yeah, everything here will be ugly, I think, mostly. This is just a stupid thing. um, it doesn't need to be doing this, right? So we can just ignore that. Where we could place these lights would be this kind of, and make this would be like here, right? So this will be as we prefer, right? I think this lamp 2, this one is better. And yeah, there's all the continuation there, that it's not like this in this corridor, but in this one it is. So you need to make some decisions here. Because this corridor needs some sort of continuum. So what we could do for this is just not ending like this, but itself has a interruption, so it will combine better with this. Here I don't need to make, I won't need to make a structure for this one. Or actually, yes, I could. Let's say we don't have the structure there, so it's same for the middle part here. So the middle part we should be able to I'm gonna make this way, so I don't really know where it is. I need to count. So I could make this crossing here already, so this will be bricks way, and for some reason, oh yeah, of course, this also we need to reset, and it's all wrong. I don't know what was the Yeah, so this will be a problem. We'll have to find the way to get it back from that pattern, so it's not good right now. And here we'll have to do something different. Something that is not in the plan. I could create a pattern. There are softwares which can do this kind of stuff. Maybe I can do some but it doesn't seems like a very simple. Now this is not the way to go. Let's try to do this procedurally. So I'm gonna add here and make something like here, and from this I'm gonna try to do some, it should be some sort of math thing. No, mapping. Okay, maybe we can do this from here. Apply this new material, assign this new material here. So I need to start, okay, this is, no, so it's sort of a mixing thing, so I could probably do something like, I'm taking like twice and color mix this with white, no, this with this, and mix, actually multiply, no, it's not the multiply, it's also not a mix between the two, so okay, this reconvert to vector, interesting. Of course they are equal here, so we're gonna make some changes. So they are crossing patches now, and it's all the same here. and it seems that it matters which was in the top, right? Dark is up. No, this works better. Okay, and the multiply is the ultimate thing, right? But it's very far from a cool result right now. Okay, let's see the scale here. Yeah, here we go. Sort of that. So either one, either the other, so they're sort of canceling. And now they okay, this exclusion seems to work a little. Yeah, so there is this, and that is acceptable, right? Doesn't need to make too much sense here because it is stylized, right? So it's not, it needs some appeal, and that's it. Then from here we could try to can do Control Z. I don't know which was the emission. 1.2 maybe. Let's compare with yeah, 1.2. Okay, so that sort of works, right? Yeah, it is working. It's not totally convincing. I couldn't find the correct color mix right here. There'll be many ways to do this, right? But maybe just a slight change to the contrast, something like that. Yeah, very hard to match. So better without. From the distance, it seems fine. Yeah. Alright folks, for today that was it. So not too much, but we got some, we start to get the crossing here, not the next part here will be the ceiling, and then with these modules can make some more mesh details, right? I need to make up my mind to really start creating crazy stuff in here and bring the materials, because I've reorganized many of these already, although not for EV, right? So that's annoying. That's why I have to try to recreate as I'm doing here, readdressing one by one. I give them each one of these a different type. So this is the preview render type sphere. So sphere for all these sort of materials, physical materials that are more solid stuff, and metal and wood, I don't know. Then glass has this thing here, which is Blender logo, I think, on top of a crystal ball. So glass stuff here, and lamps, I'm using this one, but could be perhaps this, but I think it's easier to, it takes time to update. Yeah, this doesn't don't know what that is. It's a cube. Okay, that's not too bad, but this will be for other stuff, right? Yeah, so this is easier to check. So cube, maybe if we want some metal, yeah, I can't keep, maybe these ones are more like some patch. So I got the cubes, and this something more metallic plaster stuff without not too many details. We get them as these balls, these spheres. Alright folks, and my idea here would be to, as I get enough of this place and connect them to some hull, this could be a part of a base or a starship, and then some action could be used for an action scene, and whatever. And so this is why I'm building this particular one, also for experimenting with the Blender 4.4.1 and getting improving with the asset library workflow, which is still pretty challenging, but you see, it works. We need to be just aware of certain things. So that's it folks, hope to see you tomorrow or any other day of the week. I'm doing this weekly now, daily, I mean, during the weekdays. Hope that was inspiring. We're getting better at this and getting cleaner stuff. Blender 4.4.1, don't miss it, because EV on my old scene was terrible. Now it's pretty good. Now I can work with on EV, so this is great. That correction version, right? Correction release, super useful, was made available yesterday, if I'm not wrong. So on this week. That's it, folks. Take care and happy blendering. See you soon. Enjoy.